Good day everyone, this is Seti Hasana Pundaudaya, and now, in this video, we will be going to find out the results from the study entitled The MTBMLE Attitudes Among Teachers on the Ground by Ma'am Annie May Baroa and Richard Agbayani. The researchers have proposed the research questions, and these are the following. First, we have, what are the attitudes of the Ilocano teachers towards MTBMLE policy in general? Second, what are the factors influencing the attitudes of the participants toward the MTBMLE policy? And last, what are the suggestions of the participants to allow more effective implementation of the MTBMLE policy? In this video, I am going to discuss about the result regarding the attitudes of the Ilocano teachers towards MTBMLE policy and how this particular aspect was achieved by the researchers. The attitudes of the teachers towards a policy are very important as it influences their language use and behavior that could directly correlate with their classroom practices. Thus, to determine the attitudes of the respondents towards the MTBMLE in the context of this investigation, the mean scores and standard deviations were determined as presented in Table 3. As shown, the mean scores of almost all the statements indicate that teachers have favorable attitude towards mother tongue-based education. This finding is very sensible since it is assumed that learners learn well using their mother tongue. From the items, there are statements that were highly rated by the participants as shown in Table 4. As presented in Table 4, the participants highly agreed to statements 6, 8, 22, 23, 27, and 28 that could illustrate their strong affirmation on the notion that the use of mother tongue helps learners to learn while teachers see themselves as facilitators of learning. The highly agreed statements, teachers' role is to impart knowledge to the students and students need to actively participate in the lesson in order to learn, demonstrate that learning is a two-way process which involves efforts both from the teacher and the learner. And in the process of learning, the language used as a medium of instruction plays a very significant role for teachers to effectively impart their knowledge and for the learners to better understand what are being communicated to them. In this investigation, teachers could be seen to have strongly believed that the use of the native language or the native tongue is directly connected to the understanding of the pupils that enables them to interact and participate during lectures, to be active learners, and to communicate better with their teachers and with their classmates. This view was supported by the participants who articulated the following thoughts. One participant believes that using mother tongue as a medium of instruction is very helpful for students since they are able to express themselves using the language they are comfortable with. And another believes that students are free to express their opinion and are able to comprehend instructions that was given to them easily because of their mother tongue. That lead the conclusion that the use of mother tongue as a medium of instruction is very beneficial for the pupils since they become more confident in expressing their ideas and feelings that actually facilitated better learning and understanding. This affirms the idea of Gallego and Zubiri, who asserted that academic competence can be attained through the use of a native tongue. The exclusive use of language that is most familiar to the learners can promote linguistic skills, making it easy to engage in academic activities. In addition, teachers in the study strongly agreed that they see themselves as facilitators of learning that tend to illustrate the importance of learner-centered education rather than teacher-centered. Teachers in the study appears to strongly affirm that effective teaching is achieved by letting children learn and discover for themselves and help them explore beyond just learning information. In assuming this role as facilitator of learning, it is hoped that the goals of the MTBMLE policy, which emphasize language development, which establishes a strong education for success in school and for lifelong learning, cognitive development, which focuses on higher order thinking skills, academic development, which prepares the learner to acquire mastery of competence in each of the learning areas, and socio-cultural awareness, which enhances the pride of the learners, heritage, language, and culture will be realized. The teachers who participated in the study did not completely agree statements about the positive effect of education in the mother tongue here in the Philippines, but also as well as challenges related to policy implementation. The statement, "If I had enough materials, teaching mother tongue would be easy," shows the necessity of books and learning mother tongue materials for effective implementation of MTBMLE. Teachers in this context see learning materials as an essential part of effective MTBMLE teaching for students to learn and understand the lessons. Thus, it appears that they strongly recognize the importance of materials for making their tasks easier and that adequate learning resources written in local language in a wide range of subjects allow them to successfully implement the MTBMLE policy. According to participant 10, written books and dictionaries are not readily available in the mother tongue, which has turned into a widespread issue among educators. The individual feels that authentic and trustworthy educational resources are crucial for meeting the demands of the students whose mother tongues are different. This is consistent with the idea stressed by Hall that teaching will never be effective without a relevant and accurate use of learning materials. It is also important to note that in teaching through the use of mother tongue, teachers will be forced to use materials that are written in other languages in the absence of adequate learning materials. This creates problems and confusions since the medium of instruction is different from the learning resources and most probably from the examinations to be conducted. Moreover, the respondents perceive the teaching of mother tongue literacy as added burden for teachers. It could be possible that since teachers are already used to teach Filipino and English literacy, they find the use of another language as a burden because of the unavailability of the needed materials and of the fact that they have to master the native tongue, including its grammar and vocabulary. These sentiments were articulated in the following experts. So according to participant 31, it is easy to teach using MT as long as we know the technicalities and grammar. While according to the participant 42, using mother tongue as a medium of instruction is not that easy. When we first used it, it was very challenging on our part, but as we learned some of the terminologies, we found it very useful and easy to use. The responses of the participants illustrate the challenges that goes with the use of mother tongue as a medium of instruction, similar to what Lartick et al. Found in their study in which grammar and vocabulary were found to be a problem among teachers in Baguio. With this, it is then more challenging if a teacher is faced with pupils who come from different linguistic and multicultural backgrounds. Thus, the highly rated statements suggest that teachers strongly believe that the MTBMLE policy could facilitate better learning as pupils understand what is said to them, which could be translated to active participation in the classroom as they understood what are asked of them. In turn, the use of the native tongue leads to better learning and effective teaching. Furthermore, teachers see themselves as the provider of knowledge to the learners, although they also acknowledge the need for active participation of the pupils in order to learn. Apart from the perceived positive impact of the MTBMLE, the statements which describe the difficulties faced by the teachers in implementing the policy were also highly rated. Respondents expressed concerns in relation to learning materials and in teaching literacy in mother tongue that make their task more difficult. Aside from those statements that are highly agreed, there are also those that are disagreed by the participants as presented in Table 5. As can be seen in Table 5, the sentence, "Mother tongue is not suitable for academic use language" is the one that received the lowest average. This may mean that teachers do not agree with such a statement because they believe that the mother tongue is suitable as a language for academic purposes. As Gallego and Zubiri argue, language that is unknown for students often hindered learning and communication. According, the best way to succeed in school is to use a common language for both students and teachers. It involves the use of the mother tongue as a medium of instruction, which begins with what students already know and what they already have. So mother tongue is suitable for academic language. Furthermore, the second to the lowest mean score is found in the statement, "I use the same teaching methods in my classroom as were used by my teachers when I was a student," maintain that the use of unfamiliar language as a medium of instruction force teachers to employ traditional and teacher-centered methods in teaching such as memorization, repetition, recall, and chorus that produce passive learners. With the MTBMLE, participants believe that they can employ teaching methods that are different from those traditionally utilized by their teacher. The policy allows teachers to employ innovative and learner-centered activities and appears to be the best option to facilitate learning as learners can express and understand better. In addition, in the section, "Teachers are not equipped to use foreign language as the medium of instruction" is said to be the third to the lowest mean score. It means that teachers believe that they can use foreign languages in teaching. Like Paulson Stone states that Filipino teachers believe that they have the opportunity to use Filipino and English as a learning tool, but they are not comfortable using these languages because it is limiting the participation of students in the use of foreign languages. It may be so that the disagreement of the respondents with the statement is based on the fact that teachers have been using English and Filipino as the languages of instruction, which they believe that they are linguistically armed. Moreover, the statement mother tongue literacy is not useful because there are very few mother tongue reading materials available, obtained the fourth to the lowest mean score among negatively reported items. Although people have pointed out that the lack of study material provides an opportunity to use English as a medium of instruction, however, respondents still believes that mother tongue literacy is useful despite the lack of books and study materials written in the mother tongue. And to sum up everything that has been stated so far, teachers generally have positive attitude towards the MTBMLE policy in the country. This kind of attitude displayed by these teachers in Ilocos is found to be influenced by a number of factors. And that would be all for my part. Thank you for listening.